because Mike developed Mike's best pathway to where he can change it and alter it in ways you have no idea. That is like absolute science. Well, everyone's an individual. You got to find your exact way. But if you're not willing to go through the steps and to have that time invested and the suffering that comes with it, you'll never get there.
You're right. You're 100% right.
I love the fact that you're here. You guys don't even know. I've talked about him a lot to Mo, just because he's a big catalyst on how my life has been the last 10 years. So it's so cool to see you walk in here.
Dude, when I told him, I go, bro, I'm podcasting Mike at 6. The thing on it, he texts me back. He goes, I'm on my way. I'm going to be a little bit late, but don't tell him.
Yeah, we talked about that. I said, I go, yeah. People don't get this, and I'll say it to people, and they probably take it as like, oh, he's just being facetious. But I go, no, Mike's a family friend. Mike is family, and they're like, what does that mean exactly? No, you don't get it. Like, I know Mike forever. Mike is one of my brother-in-law's good buddies, and is a part of all this like powerlifting and everything that was up in Washington. And I've trained at the gyms that Mike has trained at when I was a kid. Having Pat Burke tell me like, all right, no, your elbows are flared out, no this and that, whatever. It's like, okay, got it. Here's how you put your knee wraps on when you're squatting heavy. Here, all this stuff. And
this is all great stuff for you guys at home. I don't know if you were enjoying it as much as I did, but this is just like childhood and friendships that have been there forever. And
it's the best thing in the world. This you cannot buy, people. This is something that is time and is just a buildup of whatever we all went through together, respecting each other the way we do, and enjoying your life.
I am going to bring Titan down to train with you guys.
Good.
Yeah. So he
Absolutely.
started at 2 jiu-jitsu. You guys know this at home, but Titan started at 2 jiu-jitsu and swimming as a young pup. So this is how annoying they're going to be with me. My food goes with me everywhere.
I just ordered sushi for you.
And that's for Mama and Jeffrey and everybody, but that's how annoying I am.
That's okay.
It don't matter if I go to a 4-star restaurant, I eat. I stay
during the podium, it's a standard that during the podcast we have a meal. So enjoy.
Thank you.
I'm glad I brought you now.
I don't need to get shredded, so.
These guys are going to enjoy. But we have questions. Tons of questions. So, and at this site, for you guys that are here watching this, understand that the questions can range from how do you incorporate martial arts into lifting? How do you build up your strength program to bench something that's abnormal, truly abnormal? I think I can get 1,200 if I did about 6 lifts altogether. So there's a lot of information here for you guys, and it's like he said. My belief is food is not like medicine. It is medicine.
100%.
And it
100%.
heals your body, and it gets you better, and it makes you strong. It can make you lean. It sets you up to win if you stay with a basic understanding of nutrition.
Food can ruin you too.
Yep.
Bad food. I mean, you can have all kinds of inflammation and tendonitis and gout and any number of things. Diabetes. For a lot of folks, it's food based more than anything else.
100%.
And I know people that have beaten their type 2 by just getting the will together and eating right.
Right.
And obviously we're not talking about, born type 1, that's a whole different story. But even then, type 1s with the right kind of nutritional work can reduce their amount of insulin necessary
100%,
all the time.
100%.
And can make it so that they're safer within where if they're missing this or missing that, and it's just
well,
helping them out.
if you're not eating foods that are causing your pancreas to produce excess amounts of insulin, then you're doing the right thing, especially diabetics.
Right.
You're talking about losing weight, leaning out. I mean, bodybuilding has taught me everything nutritionally. Obviously you want to cut down, you got to cut your carbs down.
Yeah.
You need to eat them correctly. You got to do your cardio correctly. It's all.
Here's something I think that it often gets overlooked with bodybuilding. They're all about like the physiques and the shows and you go, hold on, you don't realize that actually, in my opinion, the most important thing about bodybuilding is that, and as it will vary for every individual, bodybuilding is this this dive into the most specific manipulation of the physical form, right? It's not just I lift weights and I got bigger. It's you learned how to isolate one small muscle that you felt didn't make your shoulders look as good, or you learned how to control your weight coming down, going up, how to bulk and get the most out of it. All these things.
Absolutely.
Now the thing about it is, if you can learn that aspect, not only can you do what they do for the sake of bodybuilding, you can also do it in a sports sense, where you go, my rotator cuffs need to be stronger. And this is one of the most necessary sport exercises, yet people don't get that it's too easy to overwhelm the rotator cuffs because they're not very strong. They're not made to do real lifting like you would do with other stuff. But yet people come in there and they fling the weight around. It's like you're not training your rotator cuff. But if you learn how to bodybuild, you learn how to find just that moment and move that muscle just as it needs to be, and stretch it and elongate it.
Your canvas.
And then if you start tailoring your diet, it's bodybuilding when I'm having my fighters cut weight.
Right, 100%. Bodybuilding is not, people don't understand. Bodybuilding is a lifestyle, and it's not about competing. You could be a bodybuilder and never do a show. Bodybuilding is about taking care from the inside of your body to the outside of your body, in every aspect, nutritionally.
Well, look at all the pros.
Yeah.
Right. That Mike could have been up there going like, no, I'll go down this same gamut of do the whole pro shit like you guys in that exact way. But look at how many of them are great, fall out, great, fall out, great, fall out, in between, and then all of a sudden retire, blah. And now you've got Mike still looking as big and as lean, strong as shit.
Lately, a lot of them are dying.
Yes.
Matter of fact, not that he was like a big bodybuilder, but he's a big YouTuber. Boston Lloyd died today.
Oh boy.
At 29 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And hey, rest in peace.
29, that is way too young.
I met him. I was going to do a podcast with him, my friend Leo, about 2 months ago, and I'm not into the drug thing. I mean, the whole thing is, if you're going to do drugs, you're an adult. You can make those decisions, but I like living the way I like living, a positive lifestyle, and I just didn't want to go down that route with them, And I would just be nailing them, I mean, obviously, there's a right and a wrong way to do everything.
Everything you do is a trade-off in one way or the other.
You got to pay. You got to pay at the cash register. Yeah. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But Boyd, rest in peace, brother. We wish you the best.
Back to what you were saying about nutrition, because I love that you absorbed it like you do and adapt to it. Like you fine tune it, and you talk about, because I talk about connective tissue all the time, and muscle comes and goes. We know this,
right?
And you can feed it and stuff, but it's the connective tissue that gives you that farm boy strength, that you can choke out somebody, that you can roll with somebody, you can lift and hold that kind of weight. Don't get it misled, because I love bodybuilding that there's a creation to the body. What I don't like is that the youngsters are just getting to the point where they just go, I just want to look jacked. And I'm like, well, you're not depositing anything for the future, which goes back to my belief on how you do nutrition and how you do weightlifting. If you stress the body in a productive way, that gets bone density and connective tissue. That's Wolff's Law and Davis' Law, which allows us to do this for a long period of time.
Right, stop.
Go.
Long period of time. Consistency. That's what makes me be able to bench 1,200 pounds. Him, the physique that he does. It didn't just come out of a Cracker Jack bag. He worked for years and years and years. You look at a picture of him when he was younger, he looks better now than when he was younger.
Well, the ones now are just photoshopped. Fake weights and everything, so it's not the same. But I love the fact that we're still here doing this, and it comes back to the medicine, and the medicine is the food. Yeah. It's setting us up
100%.
So it's not inflamed. You're not destroying your kidneys and liver. It's you're doing this
so you can still get out and tussle. You can still
Yeah,
get out.
I mean,
and
I
do
was
your stuff.
on the mats with a 2-time NCAA Division I champion today. You know, third or fourth on the Olympic ladder in a heavyweight, and we're out there training today. And
How'd
trust
that
me,
go?
I have. It goes all right. I mean, Tony he's been a student of mine, a good friend, and training partner, and as a wrestler, like he's definitely a better wrestler than me.
Well, he's a beast.
But you know, I can go out there and learn from him by being on the mats with him because I know how to wrestle, I know how to be strong, I know how to train myself, I have all these secrets from all these years of being an athlete that now I'm going to pay for this a lot more than he will. But
100%.
yeah, because he's quite a bit younger than me, but
you can use those tricks and those tricks of the trades to get the result that you need to get now that he doesn't know.
this is true, and it also allows me to be out there to learn through example.
Right.
You know, I mean, I can do Mike's power bodybuilding program as many times as I want, but I still need to at some point go and hang out with him and be a fly on the wall, just be in his back pocket. Why do you do it this way? Why are you doing it that way? Well, you found that when you moved and you moved the weight in this arc, you were getting this much more benefit out of it than the
100%.
traditional way of doing it that way. So okay, I'll try it that way and see if I don't too get that same benefit. And if I don't, then maybe he'll adjust my elbow positioning until we find it. And now there'll be another, okay, boom, that's what we need to move. No, I need you to move your wrist just this little bit and watch how it'll make this fire. Got
100%.
that? Boom,
Hey.
got it.
30 years is this, ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the craziest shit. Like one little movement is 2 decades. And that makes a world of difference in whether you're building up to what you're building up to or being the power level that you need to or throwing somebody in a move.
Yeah, the first person that really got me lifting was Pat Burke, who Mike knows really well.
Was an actual old training partner of mine when you were probably still too young.
Yeah, boy, was he strong as shit. So him teaching me how to bench to begin with, it still took me a minute to figure this out. He's like, stop holding the bar on your knuckles. Stop that. Like you're trying to drive through your bones, throughout your palm, and now you got weight hanging on you back here, dropping behind you.
You're causing a leverage break.
And so I'm watching. They go, well, you don't put your thumb around it or whatever. I mean, he was like, no, I don't need to do that. He gets in there, boom, puts the pads, and just bang. And I just, okay, you know. We used to lift it at Gold's up on Aurora when I was there, getting ready for my UFC fights, doing. You know, I'm doing sumos, he's doing standard, and we're doing 500 pounds for reps and sets back and forth with each other. Yeah. And Pat was still stronger than me, and I'm 23, and Pat, I don't know, he must have been 30-something, and he was still stronger than me.
The strength plateau, when you're 23, you're not there yet.
Well, yeah, I had to learn that.
It doesn't start till your mid-30s, till you're 33, 34.
Yeah. But, you know,
that's when you get
I was
real
a
strong.
raw 500-pound
deadlifter,
a 550-pound squatter, and Pat's still like, all right, add more weight because this is too light for me.
Old man power, baby. Old man
power.
I'm telling you right now, it's like when you're a kid and you're wrestling with your father and he's just manhandling.
Still manhandling.
Yeah.
And he's 40 and you're 18 or whatever, and it's like, you know, that's the deal. When you get older, that's when your power sets in.
I've learned.
So how do you tell these guys that though? How do you tell them, the youngsters, the teenagers, the 20-year-olds, slow down, don't rush it?
Well, basically, you tell them that you're looking for something that's not in developmental stage yet.
But they want to be the best. They want to be 24 in the champ.
Well, that's
they want to turn pro at 20 years old.
But fighting is a different thing than lifting.
Okay.
You know, you're talking about, you know, maturation of a fighter. He's a freak. You know what I mean?
But I won the universe at 20.
You did.
So why can't they do that? The same thing. Why can't they do it at 19?
You know,